Let's talk the top books for learning how to day trade stocks. Now, I should note, I don't mean just day trading stocks. It could be swing trading stocks, investing in the stocks, or it could be day trading crypto, day trading Forex or futures. So this concept applies to whatever you're looking to trade, but I just decided to use stocks in the title here. But in order for this to all make the most sense and my final answer about the top books to use, I need to set up a little bit of context here in regards to the various types of learning that you have available to you, as a beginner, somebody that's just getting started, or maybe you're just looking to improve, create more opportunities for yourself. And after, going through the three different areas of education and kind of, like I said, what's available, then my final answer should hopefully make a whole lot more sense to you because it may not be what you think, but like I said, as I go through this, hopefully it all at the end, kind of gets like, okay, yeah, I totally see what you're saying. So let's just first start off with a book. What kind of education is a book going to give to you? And a book, and it's through no fault of its own, it's just by definition, is going to have to look to the left. What do I mean by that? Well, here we have a chart, and a book has got to look, to look towards what's already happened. And that's, like I said, I'm not saying there's anything malicious there, but that's just how it needs to play out. And there is, value there, right? Now, as long as a book isn't just creating a bunch of scenarios, right? If a book is using a scenario that has actually happened, that's from the real world of trading, well, then perfect. That is some valuable information because it's not some sort of, made up scenario. But like I said, so a book is going to just have something like this where it's going to, and I'm kind of just making this up here, but a book could have a trend line right there, and then put another line down here, and then it can start to talk about, well, what we have here is known as a wedge pattern. You have this trend line right here. You have this trend line right there. And then, of course, it's going to say, and the buy location was right there. And then you got the great technical pattern breakout. Again, none of that stuff is wrong. That's all accurate. Yeah, that is the type of pattern that formed. Yeah, right there, the break of the trend line would be a great entry spot because you did get the breakout right there. But like I said, at the core, a book by nature has to look to the left. It's got to look at hindsight. It's got to look at what's already happened so it can take its pictures and draw things in a way to explain whatever concept it is actually trying to illustrate and teach. Now, the next type of learning is what I would call platform learning, meaning right here, and this is, I think most platforms can do this, but you pull up a chart, and this is how I mainly learn myself, was you pull up a chart. And the question becomes, all right, well, let's begin to look to the right a little bit. So again, looking to the left, you know exactly what's happened. It's all hindsight. But looking to the right, and by aligning the chart like this, you can see that, well, I don't know what's happening next. So you put the, things like this, and you can say, okay, well, what would I do next? Well, let's slide it over here a little bit. All right, now you have the next candle. Okay, now what would I do? All right, well, let's go to the next candle. Okay. That happened. Okay, now what would I do? And do you see how I scrolled over one candle at a time, and you can start to say, okay, what would I do? Which I would argue is way more powerful than a book, and what that's going to provide you by having to look to the left and having full hindsight in your favor, understanding that, well, yeah, of course I see the pattern, and of course you buy right there because, the reason why that's so easy is because, well, when it's broken out, well, then it's very, very easy to look right there and be like, well, yeah, of course that's where I would have bought. I see it. That's what I would have done. But now ask yourself, okay, my question to you is, what would you do next? Well, what would you do right now? Would you be buying? Would you be holding off? So the point here being is when you don't know what's happening next, you can see that, okay, the decision-making process becomes much harder, which is good though, right? Because you want to be able to not know what's already happened because in the world of trading, you don't know what's coming next. However, this, area of trading still has a big flaw because with each candle, you can see that, well, you just get the full candle, right? You just have the next candle, it's already formed. Right there, you have the next candle, it's already formed. So right there, it's still, like I said, I would argue it's better than just looking to the left with full hindsight, but there is still the negative part of, again, that candle right there is not moving at all. So what do I mean by that? Well, let's now go to the best type of learning. Now what I want to focus on, and this is what I would call demo trading. This is what I call paper trading, simulator trading, whatever you want to talk about. But notice what's happening right here. Notice how that is actually moving. So not only is that candle moving, which eliminates what we just talked about, but it totally eliminates a book, right? Because what direction does a book have to look? To the left. What direction are we now looking? to the right. And to the right is this big void of darkness, which is what trading's all about. What are you going to do in this big void of darkness? That's a good question, right? And that's going to be the best type of learn. Oh, hey, and I didn't even have this planned. So, I mean, for anybody that was like, oh, I'd be buying right there. Hey, good job. You just made a very good decision. But my question to you is, all right, what are you doing right now? Are you buying? Are you taking profits? Are you buying more? Are you going to step back and watch? Who knows? Are you shorting? What would you do, right? We got to look to the right to answer that decision. And this candle, as it still forms, you don't even know how this candle is going to form. So this is real-time action. And real-time action is the best learning method, is the best learning approach. Books, like I said, I don't have anything against them. They do the best that they can. But the best that they can, unfortunately, is not very beneficial because sure, it's easy. Again, what would a book say? In this situation, a book could and again, to be fair, yeah, they're right. A book would say, well, you know, you want to put the trend line right there, and then the spot to have bought would be right there. And you're like, well, yeah, no kidding. I see that. You're right. Well, yeah, but why is that right? Well, because we already know what happens. We already know that it breaks out. And that's just not nearly as good as looking at this right now and asking yourself, okay, well, what would you be doing? I'm so excited that this acted like this right when I was recording. I had no idea. Because again, I'm looking to the right here. Even as I make this video, I have to deal with this big black void. And I was hoping that, well, hopefully it doesn't like sit there and like do nothing and doesn't just chop around and not really move much. But hey, we got a big move right there. But that's, like I said, going to be the best type of learning. So when it comes to the styles of learning, the availability of learning, you have, like I said, just to recap things before I give my answer here in terms of the best books, you have the book style, looking to the left. You have the platform style, which is good, right? There's still more value to it, but the problem with that is as you go candle by candle, you automatically see these candles don't move, right? They're just, oh, boom, that's what the candle was. That's what the candle was. But then the best, like I said, looking to the right, looking into the void of darkness, you have zero hindsight. You don't know what kind of candle is going to form because that's forming as we talk, and that's as real world of trading as it gets. So those are the three, and this is why I would say the best type of books have nothing to do with actual trading strategies. They have nothing to do with, hey, how to make money. Sure, they can teach you general basic things, but it's going to build way too much false confidence. It's going to make you think you know a whole lot more than what you do because, yes, it's easy to trade in hindsight. It's easy to look and know what's already happened and then say, oh, yeah, I totally understand that. Oh, yeah, of course that's what I would have done. But that's not the reality of trading. So what are the top books to use? Well, books that really have nothing to do, like I said, with strategies, but the biggest are going to be about trading psychology. And the number one book I would recommend right there, Trading in the Zone. I'll put a link to this one down below, so if you can just go click on it. But Trading in the Zone, great book on psychology. And psychology is something that's a huge part of trading. So yeah, you need to know how to make decisions. Yeah, you need to know how to use certain trader tools. But trading is also a very mental game. It's a very emotional game, and understanding your emotions, understanding your feelings, understanding all of that is a huge component if you want to learn how to trade stocks or, whatever, crypto, Forex, futures the right way. You got to have psychology in place too. And that's where I fully admit books are fantastic. So as far as top books, anything about psychology, and then I list a couple other ones here, more so just kind of inspiration, reading about, other people that have been successful with money and finances. But at the core, like I said, psychology books are going to be the best one. And what we're actually looking at here, this is from the resource page that I offer on the site. So I'll put a link down to this below too if you want to get other resources that I use and recommend. But if you just care about specifically, the top book, again, books in general, the top books are going to be books on trader psychology, but specifically, okay, Clay, that's great, but it's still kind of broad. But what, do you have a favorite book in terms of trading psychology? And yeah, absolutely, Trading in the Zone there, and we'll put that in a link down below. So that's the answer, is you're going to want to focus, you're going to want to use books when it comes to trader psychology. But in terms of actually learning how to trade, how to make money in the market, the best learning that you can do is by looking into the void, looking into that black thing of darkness where you don't know what happens next. Because again, that's how trading actually works. You don't have the convenience of knowing what's already happened, knowing how a candle is already formed. You have to look into the void of the right, and that void can be very scary when you're new. Heck, it's still scary as somebody with a lot of experience, but it's just a matter of learning how to navigate that black void to the best of your ability. And that's what, certain types of education, such as, simulators and stuff, are going to give you, but a book is just not going to give that to you. So hopefully you found this helpful, and hopefully this kind of opened your eyes to some learning strategies, because I don't want to see you waste your time doing a bunch of stuff, building a bunch of bad, false confidence, when there are, much better things and much better ways you could have gone about your learning experience. So hopefully you found this helpful. If you did, hit that like button. Any comments down below. Always love to hear from you as listeners. And then check out the channel as a whole. Hopefully you like what you see enough to hit that subscribe button, as I would love to have you as a subscriber to the channel. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up, as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.